Miles beneath the continents of cloud tops, the air is heavier than stone. For the areo-mariners of Jupiter, this is just a pit stop on the way to the hellish abyss of the planet's outer core, where pressure and heat is so intense that they might as well be flying into the sun. In the depths of the planet, they harvest energy from the convection streams of metallic hydrogen boiling up from the planet's rocky center. There is enough power here to sustain the Earth for billions of years, but it is not an easy journey. To keep them from being instantly pulverized, the hull of the ship is 20 feet of reinforced tungsten alloy. There are no windows, but that doesn't matter, because there is nothing to see. Instead, on the bridge, there is a massive radar screen. Patterns of noise flash by on it, signaling massive lightning storms, city-sized tornadoes, and columns of clouds that stretch on without end. The scientists say there is no life on Jupiter. On the surface, this makes sense. Jupiter is bathing in its own deadly radiation, lacks a solid surface, and is beset with hurricanes larger than planets. Where could life possibly gain a foothold? Ursa knows better than those scientists. She has been a navigator aboard the Callisto 8 for 6 whole years. Her job is to be the eyes of the ship and watch the radar screen for incoming storms and wind currents. Every day she is faced with the life of Jupiter. The shapes of serpents slither through the cloud patterns on her weather monitor. She hears their screams beneath the constant roar of the wind, and in her dreams they come to her. For Ursa, there are monsters lurking in the clouds. In her spare time, she is an artist. Ursa paints the Jovian Serpents from her dreams on parchment that she orders in from Earth. If she were a 17th century cartographer, she would have put them in the unknown corners of maps. But there are no maps of Jupiter. Instead, she colors their wispy bodies in black ink and curves their form between twisting cloudscapes. She hangs them up in her quarters, but doesn't show them to anyone else. Today she is completing her newest work of art. Using some tools scavenged from around the ship, she sharpens a metal bar from the headboard of her cot into a pointed stake. She has never made such a weapon before, but is determined to make it perfect, as this will be her first and last attempt. After a few hours of work, the stake draws blood when she pricks it into her finger. It is ready. The hull of the Callisto 8 creaks and moans as the ship dives deeper into the atmosphere. Ursa returns to her navigation post, her new weapon tucked into her uniform. She watches the patterns on the screen, waiting for a sign. For a while, all she sees are the movements of massive storms passing overhead. Then she sees it. A thin, slithering form snakes between the cloud formations on her screen. It draws near to the ship. Ursa knows she has just moments to act. If she waits, the serpent will disappear back into the massive storm bearing down upon them. Ursa leaves her post and rushes toward the captain of the ship. She reveals her weapon just inches from the shocked captain and stabs it deep into her chest. The captain stumbles back. Ursa removes the stake from the captain's chest and murmurs some strange incantation. As she does, blood sprays up and showers the bridge in a crimson mist. Ursa closes her eyes and waits for the serpent to descend. It will tear through the tungsten shell and release her from this claustrophobic prison. Nothing happens. For a moment, everyone watches the scene unfold in shock. Then Ursa opens her eyes. No grand cosmic ritual was performed here today, just mundane murder. She looks down. The captain lies crumpled on the floor in a pool of her own blood. Ursa steps back. Several of her crewmates rush to subdue her. The ship continues its descent, as always.